time, please help me welcome Jeff Chilton.
Thank you very much. Today is an exciting day. It's always exciting to hear the first speech out of the Confident Communication Manual, 10 speeches altogether. Today we're going to hear from Christine Shook as she presents her 10th speech. She's actually going to skip over a 9th one temporarily as she works through some writing and tightening that one up. She's working on her 10th one. She's very excited to present that one today. This speech project is entitled Inspire Your Audience. I call it the capstone of the whole process of what you go through here at Toastmasters. Because you started out trying to organize your speech, you've worked out how I can use my gestures and my voice to really bring some impact to the wording that I want to do. Now, can you bring into your speaking the ability to persuade an audience, or here in the 10th project, to inspire an audience, to move them to action, or to inspire them to take a step forward, something they wouldn't necessarily consider doing until you've spoken to them. So Christine is going to give us that perspective as she presents her speech. It started with a Fitbit. It started with a Fitbit. Christine Shook.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters and honored guest. Welcome to the meeting.
Thank you.
Have you ever set a goal for yourself or had a dream, but then you've been afraid to take that first step? You've got an idea in mind, you've got an end goal in mind, you've got a change you want to make in your life, but then you never take that first step. I recently had that same experience. I had a thought, I had a goal, I had a dream, but I finally took that first step. My goal, my journey, started with Fitbit. For those of you who work here at Consumers Energy, if you recall, back in January or February of this past year, during our health and safety wellness kickoffs, the company presented us with a gift of a Fitbit. And we all had a choice when we received this gift. We could take this home, open the box and use it, or you can do like I did, take it home and set it aside. I forgot about my Fitbit for several months until I came home from work one day and my husband had pulled it out of the basket of bills that it was buried under and said, hey, if you're not going to use this, I will. So like a child, immediately, no, that's mine. No, I'll open it. I opened up my Fitbit and I used it. I connected it to my phone, I loaded the app, clipped it on my slacks, and started using it that very day. Now within a couple of days, it became quite apparent that I was much more sedentary than I believed. Sedentary is around 3,000 or fewer steps a day, and I was lucky to hit 2,000 steps by the end of the day. So me being competitive with myself and wanting to achieve a healthier lifestyle, I began to up my game. I began to take more steps. By the end of the first week, I pulled out my walking shoes. They're a little beat up now. But I pulled out my walking shoes. And I started putting those shoes on almost every single day so that I could up the number of steps that I made. And by the end of the first week, I achieved 10,000 steps. By the end of the second week, I was out and I'm power walking, was one of those crazy power walkers along the side of the road. And for some crazy reason, while I'm out power walking, I thought, oh, I think I'd like to try running. So I did. And I only ran about 50 feet, maybe. And then I stopped because I'm tired. And I'm breathing, and I'm going, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? But then about a quarter of a mile up the road, I started running again. And I stopped, and then I did it again, and I kept on running. So after running in these shoes for a couple of days, I was tired of dealing with the painful blisters on the bottom of my feet, so by the end of the second week, I bought a pair of running shoes. You know, just off-the-rack running shoes. And those served me well. I was picking up more steps, I was enjoying an easier run because they're made for running. I was building up my mileage. All of a sudden I was completing 2 miles and 3 miles, and I think I even got up to 5 miles within the first few weeks, walking and running because of my Fitbit. By the end of the 4th week, 28 days to the date that I opened up my Fitbit, I decided I'm committed to this running now. I really like it. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I really like it. So I'm going to do this right. And I bought myself a real pair of running shoes. I invested in a quality pair of running shoes. And I'm not going to go into the mechanics of the difference between those ones and these ones, but trust me, these are an investment. 2 days later, I signed up for a half marathon. I never thought I would ever start running, much less sign up for a half marathon, when my goal was just to get healthier and live a better lifestyle. But when I picked up that Fitbit and started realizing what I wasn't doing, it changed something in me. And I was able to run a marathon, a half marathon, complete a half marathon. Now people have asked me, how did you do that? How did you start running? Or why did you start running? Are you crazy? I hate running. And I used to say the same thing. And so I've put some thought into that, and what I really believe, there's 3 things that were important to me to achieve that goal. The first thing, and to me it's one of the most important steps of the whole thing, is you have to take that first step. With me, it was quite literal and figural. I had to take that first step on that journey. I had to pull the Fitbit out of the box, and not just pull it out of the box, I had to clip it on and start using it. Take that first step. If you're going on a journey, you're not going to get anywhere if you leave your suitcase by the front door and you sit on the sofa. If you want to become a better speaker, you have to take that first step and join Toastmasters. The second thing that I learned, that I believe kept me going, this is very important, I set a goal, and what's key to this is I set a goal and I told someone about it. I shared that goal. Now it was really, really scary to set a goal of, okay, I just signed up for a half marathon? Am I kind of crazy right now? I don't want to tell anybody because what if I don't do it? They're going to ask me about it. And then, what if I can't really do it? Then somebody's going to ask me about it and I have to admit that I couldn't do it. But what I found in that by setting a goal and telling somebody about it, I built my number 3. And my number 3 is, you build your cheering section. You surround yourself with like-minded people. You find yourself a mentor. And by setting a goal and telling somebody about it, first I told my husband, he became my number 1 fan. Then I told my friends and family. Then I posted it on Facebook and told people, I'm doing a half marathon. And instead of people saying, you're crazy, you're nuts, are you stupid? I had people coming out of the woodwork, people like Bob saying, you go for it, you can do it. And they cheered me on. And those people believed in me until I truly believed in myself. Because part of that journey, and this is why it's important to build that cheering section. Part of that journey, you're going to face self-doubt, you're going to face fears. You're going to go through mountains of self-doubt at times. You're going to tell yourself, I can't do this. I don't think I can complete this. I'm not good enough to do this. I don't have enough stamina. I just can't do it. And all of those cheering sections, all of those people surrounding you are going to tell you, yes, you can. When I had bad days training, and I had a really horrible run, or when I felt like I couldn't breathe, or my legs hurt so bad I felt like I was walking through sludge, it was those people that I told, that I shared my goal with, that told me, keep on going, this is normal, you can do it. They believed in me until I could believe in myself. So by taking that first step, by setting a goal and telling people about it, and by building my cheering section, I was able to achieve that goal. Fast forward 5 months to the day of the race, October 18th. I'm nervous, I'm scared. I've never done a timed race or a race whatsoever in my life. And I'm walking to the start line of a half marathon with 17,000 other people. And I'm thinking they're gonna look at me like I'm stupid because I have to walk part of this. I can't do it. But what I found was the complete opposite. I was surrounded by 17,000 other people who had the same goal in mind and who were cheering me on just as much as I was cheering them on. The policemen were high-fiving us. Border Patrol was high-fiving us. People were holding up signs, crazy signs, I won't even describe them. There's bands playing along the way. The energy was amazing. The best part of that entire day was when I'm completing the last 100 yards of my race. And my #1 fan is standing there to high-five me right before the finish line. And I got to cross the finish line and know it started with a Fitbit. You have to take that first step. What is your goal? What is your dream? What do you want to achieve? How will you begin your journey? I started mine with a Fitbit. How will yours start? Thank you.